at the Zehner property spring cleanup today. We found out that these posts are not carried in store at Home Depot, so we must order those online. We need one to replace right here, and then a second one over there that was long enough for us to still get away with keeping it in the ground, but it is broken off a little bit, so it'd be ideal to replace. So that'll be 2 tall wooden stakes. And then we did our spring cleanup, tidying up each individual plant, trying to cover any wires and piping as much as possible. But honestly, the rocks are only around 1 inch thick, and a whole other layer on top would kind of solve the issue, but they might still, fall down and erode away as they have been. I've been trying to pick them up and put them back. But just all along here, cleaning up the grass especially, so that there's no little blades of grass hanging around, so they make it look really messy. And then chopping off the bit of the tree that was broken and twisted from being hit with a truck probably during the winter. So that's our tree that we'll have to replace. But just an example of what we've got going on here. Hoping all of this comes back strong as it usually does in the springtime. Over here, all the mulch has been fluffed and weeded through. We've got the poppies coming up, the iris, getting things really clear, tidying up the grasses again. When the rocks fell down, we picked those up. Doing our leaf blowing right now for tidiness. But just another view over here. There's sweet little flowers that are going to come in. The thyme all along the edge. It's going to look so good. Very clean and tidy and fluffed. The lavender tidied up just a little bit, but not too much to take it down. We did a lot of tidying up with the planters as well, as you can see now in the sunlight. We moved the bulbs around, got some more mulch in there, or soil, pardon me, more soil in there to really cover everything. And now we're ready for whatever we may do in the springtime or summer with some additions. The bulbs here. Really loving how these are looking, especially nice and grown in. This one too, and then over here. Also watered these so that they have a good chance of sprouting more stems and flowers. Just getting it all cleaned up. In here, weeding through the pavers too, is starting to get some weeds growing. So got those out, fluffed the soil, pruned up what had to be pruned. Also, every single evergreen tree and shrub was fertilized today. So fertilizer, check. Ready for the spring. Overall, pretty darn good from the winter. Keeping, the debris back away. There's a lot of the fallen stuff from the wilderness up there that we had to take care of. And just tidying up all of our edges. A little shot over here. Definitely looking a little sparse in this area right now, so maybe we'll end up popping a few more things in there later on, but for now it's okay. Up here is where a lot of thistle maintenance took place. Hop on up here. This is, not really the garden bed, but right above it. Last fall we took out a lot of thistle. It was pretty chaotic, but this spring we were able, now that the bulk of it was gone, to dig it out. So we, by hand or by shovel, dug out a lot of thistle for a couple hours today, and hopefully that effort proves worthy and that it doesn't spread as much. But really, actually it's looking really great. So now it's just small stuff we'll end up getting next time, maintaining, as that's our biggest threat to this property with weeds, is the thistle. It was pretty crazy last fall. Okay. Another view down here. The Helleborus kind of took a hit, so we trimmed back the dead, and there's a lot of new growth popping up, so new things will sprout from that. Just keeping it nice and clean. Got the leaves out from the edge here so that it doesn't go into the rest of the property. Fluffed up and weeded through the soil. Definitely some old leaves from the fall. We're stuck all along the edge of these rocks here, and the steps looking so clean. The grass is pretty matted down from the winter, but we didn't mess with that too much. We're gonna let it do its thing and hopefully it'll come back. But just all of these bed areas tidied up. We were unsuccessful at malleting the edging back in, so we may have to just cut the edging at the rock right there, or get a whole ordeal going on for that. We cleaned up the thistle around the trees. There's a lot of thistle around the trees. I know, it's just more clarity. Another view here. We cut the grasses even lower and more level and picked up very thoroughly all around. So excited to see how those grow this year. Just a couple views. Did a really nice job with the leaf blower back here. Yep, and fertilized, all these evergreen trees as well, even the one in the corner and over here. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that was the whole property front to back. Just keep an eye on things, the animal destruction, the way they like to pull plants straight out of the ground and leave them there. The thistle and the trees, the one we have to replace, and the 2 stakes we need to get. And maybe some more fencing, just because that fencing is so warped right now. But that's all for today. Thank you very much.